I've actually got a fish on over there. I'm looking at the fish, Barb, over here. Look at them all. All of the jacks are feeding. All of this, I'm calling it a slick here, is jacks that are feeding on bait fish. And if I could get this fish in quicker, I would show you how fast they hit. So what I've done here, you know, I can't fight him backwards. He's gone right around the back of the boat. I hope he doesn't go in the engine. You know what? I'm gonna have to go to the back, Barb. This is kind of neat. You know, I'm standing on the front, watching the fish, and again, Lewis said, go ahead, go cast. So I walked to the front of the boat and fired it out, and I didn't even get one crank on that Rapala, and the fish hit. This is great fun. You know, it feels like I'm light gear fishing, but I'm using a heavy action rod. It's rated for line up to 40-pound test. I'm using 50-pound braid on this big reel, and it feels so light. These fish have so much power. So it's fun to get freshwater fish, but these saltwater fish, I asked Lewis, I said, do you like the bass fish? He said, no. He says he likes to get the saltwater fish because they fight so hard. And some of them grow so big. You know, when you get into some of the billfish species that are over 500 pounds, you're talking about a big fish. Barb's got a mullet, a big mullet on for bait, and so does, both of them do, so that maybe they'll get a bigger fish. Even these little guys, I'm guessing this guy's only about 4 or 5 pounds. And they're so powerful. Putting all the weight I can on it. I mean, if you love to fish, I know a lot of people go to Florida and Cuba, and I mean, we've had great fishing there, but Mexico is just such a little treasure, you know, especially here on the northwest coast. We're just across from the Baja on the mainland. And there's such good fishing here all year long. This guy should be nice and silvery. You should see his nice yellow tail when I get him up closer to the surface. He's doing donuts on me. And I'm gonna have to wait. That front hook came out. Maybe the hook will pull out here. I want to release this guy anyway. But if he doesn't release, I'm gonna just pop the hook out and drop him back in the water. The gloves work so well for holding the fish. I'm gonna see if he's gonna grunt. You ready? Can you hear that? Yeah, I got you. Okay, he says, please release me. It sounds like a song. Okay, let me grow. Okay, so I'm gonna just put him in, watch. He's gonna bolt off. Tons of energy, he's gone, disappeared. You know, I'm admiring these two lures, and even though a lot of fishermen use these in freshwater, when they're fishing topwater for smallmouth, largemouth bass, pike, and muskie, they work really well in saltwater. These are the skitter walks by Rapala, and this is probably the most popular size. This particular one is silver and black, and you can see that it's got the cadmium hooks, which are saltwater proof. Now the eye is located on the bottom of the lure, and there's no lip. So when this lure is sitting in the water, I'm going to pretend my fingers are the water. When it sits still, it's at about that angle, which I really like. When you retrieve it, you actually get it to have an action that goes back and forth if you're casting. That's called walking the dog. In saltwater though, when fish are busting up on bait fish on the surface, you either troll these or cast them, and they literally just come across the top in that kind of an action. And because the tail hangs down a little bit, the chances are that you're going to get a really good hookup. Okay, so that's the one size. The larger one that's right here is equipped with large freshwater hooks. But even though they're freshwater hooks, as long as you rinse them off after you're done fishing, they work really well. And this back one is part of the Sure Set series. So you can see that two of the hooks on the treble are standard, and then one's got a big curve. It almost looks like a muto hook. If I hold it up like this, you can see that it's angled up. So it's a big hook, and it's designed to catch those fish that hit short. But in saltwater, when the large game fish are feeding on bait fish near the surface, they usually just nail these things. So these are very good lures whether you're casting from shore, even off the rocks. And believe it or not, you'll actually get fish that are near the bottom, like snapper. And here in Mexico, they're called pargo. They will come up and hit these lures sometimes from 15, 20 feet. and even the rooster fish, jacks, and a whole variety of the smaller bottom fish. So these surface lures are very good if you're trolling or casting from shore from a boat. Cindy, a lot of fishermen like to fish at night. What should they know about using lights on board at night?
Well, navigational lights are required by law between sundown and sunrise. Moving powered boats are required to have red and green side lights illuminated along with an all-around white light. If anchored, you must have an all-around white light that is always on. If you're in a self-propelled vessel, you must also have a light source to alert other boaters that you are on the water.